control. Breach in 5, 4, 3.
What's up, guys? It's Uncle Freedom coming to you on a glorious and well-deserved day off, getting ready to go fishing. Excuse me. So, guys, today I think we're going to take a look at 15 items that I think every adult, man, woman, good red-blooded American patriot, or other should own in their life, or at the very minimum, at least have looked at this and discounted the options. So if that sounds like fun and it's interesting to you, go ahead and like, subscribe, tell a friend, because we are growing right on the cusp of 9,000 as I film this video. Golf clap. That's awesome, guys. I freaking appreciate it. It's amazing, and I love all of you for it. It's amazing to me meeting so many people with the same mental illness that I have out there, talking about guns, gear, having a good time doing so, and trying to become the most proficient and dangerous kind of American patriots we can. So, guys, let's look into it. 15 items that I think you should own, or at the very least look at, and some of these are the hallmark of someone that's got their shit together. First one for me is gonna be a watch. Now, I am not talking about your beloved Apple iWatch or your favorite smartwatch from all of these other companies. They're a fucking distraction. I don't care if you believe me or not, but think about it. How many times have you watched this with a guy tapping his phone, trying to get rid of a text message, or this is ringing, or it's notifying them this is going on? Our phones are a distraction. They are a terrible distraction. When I see you do this to check the time, it really just signifies to me that you're fucking stupid. Also, that you're bored and have no desire to be involved in whatever we're doing, which is not the message you want to convey in a professional setting at all. And most of the time, like, you don't want to portray that anyway. So when we look at this, we start talking about, all right, well, a watch. I am also not talking about your beloved G-Shock. I love G-Shocks. I have 9 of them. Everything from a Mudmaster to the original DW 5600. I love G-Shock watches. They're awesome. But they are not the watch I'm talking about. I am talking about a good old standby analog style watch. Me personally, I'm a mechanical watch guy. I adore mechanical watches. Something about wearing a tiny beating machine on my wrist every day is awesome. Or something like this. This is the Citizen Eco Drive Diver 200. This is solar powered. Love this watch. 200 meters water resistance. Ultra tough. Ultra durable. Looks great. I love it. I also have the mechanical version of this. But a good watch. Something else you can do if you've got a good watch is you can also point the hour hand at the sun and then split the difference between the sun and noon if you're in the northern hemisphere, and that will tell you the direction of south. So this has another function. Also with the diver, you can use the dive time bezel. I use mine all the time. Get a decent watch, because here's something that a watch does. It automatically signifies to me, subconsciously, subliminally, however you want to put this, it tells me that you care about time, both mine and yours, so that means you won't waste my time. And your fucking iWatch is a fucking distraction. I don't give a shit that you can play games on it. The one exception to this rule, I'll say, is like the Garmin Instincts. I have a Garmin Instinct. I love that freaking watch. What it does is amazing, but I do not wear that in a professional setting because it is a distraction, whether you want to admit it or not. The second one is actually 2 things, and it's a good knife, both fixed and folding. Now, when I say a good knife, I don't mean your favorite Ozark Trail fucking beater knife you bought at Walmart for $3.99 on clearance. I also don't mean the Chinese-made Gerber, Kershaw, or Camelus knife. I'm talking about a good, decent, solid folding knife. Something like this is about $140. This is the Gerber 06 Auto with the most atrocious branding you've ever seen, but this is a rock-solid S30V automatic USA-made knife. One of my favorites I carry all the time is my Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in Canvas Micarta and Crewwear. It's an amazing knife. It does everything I need to do. But having a good, solid quality knife, experiencing what it's like to have good steel, a good knife, something smooth that you can actually use and pass down is amazing. Another great one for you is you need a good fixed blade. So this is one of my favorites. This is the Vera Stoleka Tarava Jakari Puko. I butchered that. I'm from Alabama and I don't care. But this is a traditional Finnish Puko design made in Finland. 80 CRV2 steel, 4.25-inch blade, 4.5-inch blade. This is an amazing knife. The sheath is also really well done, but this is something that I can have for the next 20 years, pass it on to my kids. If you want it to be American made, you can go with any of the K-Bar Becker series. This is my Zombie Yeaton knife. This is my K-Bar Becker BK2 with my Carta scales and a custom sheath. These are amazing. But getting a decent quality fixed blade knife, something in that $80 to $150 range, same thing with your folding knife, really changes the game. And I do believe you should own at least one of each. I would also throw the caveat that having a good traditional folding knife, this is my favorite. This is the Great Eastern Cutlery Caffin Pen number 47. I adore this little knife. Use it all the time. It's less threatening to the Karens of the world, and you should probably own one. The next one, I don't give a shit how cool your phone is. Your flashlight on your phone is not a flashlight. You should own a flashlight. Gun guy, not a gun guy, don't care. It gets dark every fucking day, and you should probably have a flashlight. So if we look at a flashlight, I don't mean you have to have the newest, latest, and greatest tactical thing. I don't mean you need a 4D mag light that you can brain somebody with. I'm talking about a good, decent flashlight that can solve most problems you're going to look into. Something like a Phoenix PD35 TAC, that's 1,000 lumens. We can look at my everyday carry light, the Surefire EDC L1T5 500 lumen light. I adore this thing, but those are expensive. You don't have to spend a fortune. Here's my favorite bang for the buck. I still believe it's the best bang for the buck light. This is the Streamlight Pro TAC 1L1AA. With a single AA battery, use the lithium stuff, please. You're looking at about 150 lumens for about 4 hours. If I put a CR123 in here, now I'm talking 350 lumens for 3 hours. I have high, strobe, and a very usable 25 lumen low feature on this. This thing is amazing. This flashlight actually fell out of my pocket in the yard, was buried under snow for 7 months. When I found it, it's chewed up, it's beat up, but damn it, it still works. It's amazing. I love these lights, and best bang for the buck, 40 bucks. Don't buy an O-light, buy a Streamlight at least, please. The next one, you should not go through the entirety of your life writing things with a Bic crystal pull cap pen. At least buy a decent pen. You should experience what it's like to write things down with a decent pen at least once in your life. And once you do, you'll own numerous nice pens. Something as simple as the Skillcraft US government pen. These are awesome. We all stole these when we were in the military because they were always around. These are great little pens. This is a good solid pen that'll set you back about 20 bucks for 12 of them. But personally for me, I like real pens. I like nicer pens. Two of my absolute favorites. This is the Tactile Turn slider from Tactile Turn in Arizona. This is titanium bolt action pen. I adore it. I have really expensive pens, but this will set you back about 80 bucks. And then my new hotness that I love is my fluted copper EDK from Kara's Customs. This is a very heavyweight pen with the quietest clicker on the planet. To give you a comparison, this is a normal one. It's amazing, right? So copper bar stock milled out into this amazing pen in Mesa, Arizona by the good folks over at Kara's Customs. If you've never checked them out, yes, they are expensive, but I picked this pen up for $60 shipped to my door. This is an heirloom piece that I can hand down to my children. It's amazing to write with, and I actually feel like what I'm doing is important, even if it's not. So something like this runs on all of the Parker Kink, Schmidt 9000, Fisher Space Pen. That's what this pen will take. This guy will take Jetstreams G2s. So if you have a favorite ink you really like to write with, find you a good pen that'll accept that refill and go to town. Also, you just look like you give a shit. This is a hallmark that you care. You pull out a decent pen, you start writing notes. I'm like, that guy gets it, right? So your next one to go along with your pen, I grew up in a world where everybody carried a notepad, a notebook on their person all of the time because you need to remember stuff. There is science that backs up the fact that if you write something down, committing it to memory is easier to do. That's why that statement, I'm not writing it down to remember it later, I'm writing it down to remember it now, is so important. I have always carried a notebook. I come from the military where carrying a notebook was part and parcel of your everyday life and a part of your uniform. So for me, I have a couple of different things. I have a really nice leather-bound journal, which is where I write, and then I have a standard pocket notebook here in a leather case that I made. This is actually Horween football leather, but this is a decent 3.5 by 5.5 pocket notebook The companies I really like are Field Notes, Moleskin, and Story Supply. If I have to put them in order, it is Field Notes, Story Supply, and then Moleskin. They're awesome. You get them, they're cheap, they're $11 or $12 for 3. You put it in your pocket, you put it in a case, and now you've got something to jot those notes down on the go so you don't fucking forget it all. And you don't do what I do, which is I go to the store for X, Y, and Z, and I come home with a new handgun, some ammunition, and a random beer I found, but I didn't get milk. Write the shit down, guys. It really does help you, and it really, it shows me if you pull out a pocket notebook and take notes, I'm like, that guy, he understands. You can spend as little or as much as you want to. And another one I recommend is a journal. Why do I say a journal? No, I'm not talking about, dear diary, little Susie said I was ugly and I had a small pee-pee today. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in your normal life, every day. Sometimes we have too many thoughts going on. It's a very active world, but I'm telling you, if you've got just an overwhelming amount of stuff in your brain, take a notebook and just start writing stuff down. It will actually clear out your brain. We call it brain dumping. It's really useful. Also, if you've been through any kind of trauma, experienced something pretty traumatic or tragic, you can actually write that stuff down on paper. And when you go back and look at the words, it actually helps for it to be not so scary. Journals are very important. Almost every successful male ever on the planet, female ever on the planet has kept a journal because it helped them stay balanced. So a good pen, a good journal, and a pocket notebook to take notes, an absolute necessity in my life, and it tells me that you've kind of got your shit together. The next one, while I love Victorinox knives, I think you need a good multi-tool. I don't mean go buy the cheapest multi-tool you can find. Ozark Trail is not a brand I would choose to do that with. The Victorinox Swiss tool, some of the Gerber USA made offerings, and my favorites, the Leatherman. I carry Leathermans at work all the time. These are infinitely useful. This is the Leatherman rebar. These are excellent little tools. Yes, you're going to pay $80, $150 to get a good multi-tool, but these things are bulletproof. They solve a whole lot of problems. These are awesome. These are the tool version of duct tape. Get a good multi-tool and use it. You don't have to carry it on your belt. Throw it in your backpack, throw it in your car, but have access to it wherever you go. The next one, I know, and I hear this argument on pins. I don't buy nice sunglasses because I'll fucking lose them. That tells me you've only either bought one pair or you've never owned a pair, because you become hyper aware of where your $150 sunglasses are. The same thing, you know exactly where your $60 pin is, and you don't fucking loan this bitch out to people. Instead, you loan them your Skillcraft pin because it's a nice pin. It's not your standard everyday pin, but you keep this one. Don't give this shit out. Same thing with sunglasses. I am a Oakley. I mean, I don't mean your pugs you got at the gas station for $24.99. They're nice. No, I'm talking about good sunglasses. Wiley X's, Oakleys, Maui Jims, Costas, Ray-Bans, American Optical. Buy good sunglasses. I love American Optical. I love Ray-Ban. I love Oakley's, Wiley X's, Maui Jims, Costas. I own all of them. But I wear Oakley's a lot for work. And I started my love affair with Oakley's back when I was in the military. These are the fuel cells, the issued version. You see the American flag in the Oakley symbol. These are awesome. Ones I wear all the time for work are the Oakley slivers. They kind of have a Wayfarer design to them, kind of that old school cool vibe. I adore them. But get yourself a good pair of sunglasses with a solid quality hard case, and for the love of God, clean them only with a microfiber cloth as to not fuck up your very expensive glasses with your grubby ass t-shirt. After that, something that I've touched on in the prepping videos and stuff, which is, okay, great. I have now spent $150 on a decent knife. You need to be able to sharpen this. That's a skill that every man, woman, child should at least learn how to do. We did when I was a kid, and that is how to maintain and keep a fine edge on your knife. Because whether you want to believe this or not, a dull version of this is far more dangerous because I put more pressure on what I'm doing, increasing the risk of me stabbing the shit out of myself or cutting myself open. Sharpen your knives. It takes less pressure, less effort, and it's safer to use. You do not have to spend a fortune on a massive setup of all kinds of cool stuff, sharpening stone adjacent. But something I have found super useful for me is something as simple as this guy. This is the Foulneven DC4. It is a small 4-inch stone with a ceramic side and a diamond coated side. The back is roughed out and I have polishing compound on here. This is amazing. This will maintain my knives in the field for months. As long as you don't let your knives go crazy stupid and you don't have some retard moment where you go in and you're cutting tape and then all of a sudden you like smash it into one of the staples you didn't see and like chip your blade. These will solve most problems that you're going to face. Get yourself an old leather belt, make a strop. This is one of my bench block strops that I made. This is a piece of wood with rough out leather and black polishing compound, all you need to maintain most knives that you're going to come across. So after we look at a sharpening stone, and we've talked about the great benefits of having a pocket notebook and another notebook, and that is owning a freaking planner. Own a planner. This is my Right in the Rain 3-ring or 6-ring 1-inch planner kit. Okay, so I have Right in the Rain paper for my planner. I also have a section in the back. It's plenty big enough for me to keep some loose leaf Right in the Rain paper for me to take notes. I keep things in the back of this like spare sticker badges for kids, business cards, evidence rulers for taking pictures of stuff, 3x5 note cards. I have plenty of spots in the front for pens, pencils, and things that I may need. Yes, this can be expensive to get into. I'll tell you that this one from Right in the Rain is made by Tactical Tailor here in the US of A. That is an amazingly well-made piece of equipment, and I use this all the time. I don't care how good your memory is, and we've all done this bullshit, which is we're on our phone and we just put in this appointment that we got to make, and then what did you do? You didn't hit save. Or you got talking and you forgot to put in the time. Now you just know you have to be at this place at this day, but you don't know what time you're supposed to be there. Get a decent planner and write stuff down. Most of the world of being a high functioning adult is your ability to organize things and to make life simple on you, because the simpler you keep shit, the less likely you are to fuck it up. So get a good planner and use it. I highly recommend the Right in the Rain planner. I love mine. Absolutely love it. The next one for me is, I know you love your eSport backpack or your Ozark Trail backpack that you bought at Walmart for $9.99 on clearance because you got a good deal because it was originally $19.99. That is not a good backpack. Every adult should experience what it's like to carry your stuff in a good backpack. And when I say good backpack, I mean you need to start somewhere around the $100 mark to $300. It's a buy once, cry once situation. You don't need 10 of them. Get a good, solid quality backpack. An example I use for a good, solid quality backpack is something like this guy. This is my Mystery Ranch 2-day assault pack in indigo blue. It doesn't look tactical. It does have MOLLE, but every fucking thing's got MOLLE. I have 2 brain pouches on here. I have the full center zip on this guy. I have 2 slip pouches here. Sorry if I smacked that. And then I have 2 detail pockets, one on each side. I have a laptop sleeve here. This is a well-made, high-end backpack with an amazing harness system that's super comfortable to carry my stuff in. I also have access on the side here, direct access into the pack to get my laptop out. Water bottle pockets on each side. This is an amazing bag. Yes, they are expensive. Getting a decent 2-day assault pack from Mystery Ranch is going to set you back close to $200. But if you buy it once, you never have to buy it again. It's amazing. Get a good color that you enjoy and run it, because carrying your stuff in a solid quality backpack will change the game for you, I assure it. The next one, and I can't believe I got to say this, is good fucking socks, guys. I know that your pack you got of 10 for like $5.99 at Walmart on Black Friday. You like these socks, they're new. And then you wonder why your feet hurt so fucking bad all the time, and it's because you don't have decent socks. I wear wool socks all the time. Winter, summer, doesn't matter. Even my gym socks are wigwams. Buy good socks. Darn Tough, Wigwam, 2 of my favorite brands for getting good socks. You can buy them once. Here's the thing. Yes, they're going to set you back $10 to $12 a pair, and you're like, holy shit, that's expensive. Except the same, like 6 pairs you will have for 10 years. And meanwhile, you've had to replace 10 pairs of socks at $15 every single year for the same 10 years. So you actually spent more money. So get solid quality socks. Wigwam, Darn Tough, Smart Wool. I'm telling you, it changes the game. Your feet will hurt less, and it's amazing. Which leads into my next one, which is a good, solid quality pair of hiking boots. I know, right? You're allergic to the outdoors. You're terrified of ticks. You're afraid of this. You're afraid of that. I don't care. Solid quality hiking boots, or another one of my favorites is trail running shoes. I guarantee you, if you catch me out in public, if I'm not currently in the water, I have on hiking boots or trail running shoes. Even at work, my boots that I wear are the tactical versions of like the Chameleon from Merrell or the new Rogues from Merrell. I love those. I wear them on duty now. I wear the Moabs from Merrell on duty. I wear the the GX4s from Solomon's on duty. I wear the Solomon Speed Cross shoes. That's one of my main ones that I wear when I'm on off duty and stuff for comfort. They are built a different way than your normal tennis shoe or your normal like kicking around shoe. They have more stability, more structure. You will discover pretty quickly that your knees, ankles, and hips don't hurt nearly as fucking bad because you bought a decent pair of shoes. Go out, try some on. I highly recommend the Merrell Moabs. They're amazing. The Merrell Moab Speeds, also amazing. Anything made by Solomon for hiking boots. Keen is another great company. Get a good, solid quality pair of hiking boots. Wear them and break them in. They'll be the best thing you own as far as footwear. You will find yourself wearing them all the time because they provide things that nothing else provides. And you'll figure it out pretty quick. They also last a hell of a lot longer than your favorite tennis shoes. So after that, I'm wearing one today, and that is the Sun hoodie. For years and years of my life, I saw no purpose in these until I was on the range one day and watched a guy standing out in 98-degree heat in this hoodie-looking thing, and he didn't get sunburned. Well, I was curious. I was immediately curious because I spend lots of time outside when it's 100+ degrees. I also spend lots of time outside when it's like 10 degrees. The Sun hoodies are amazing. I get cool little features like my ninja sleeves here, so I keep these down and over my hands. These are incredibly lightweight, thin. They wick moisture. They block the sun. They are breathable. They're comfortable. I wore this one outside, 97 degrees on the range for 10 hours in direct sunlight. This thing was awesome. I wore it, no sunburn, stayed cool and dry all day long. They're also amazing as a base layer during the winter if you're a hunter because they will wick moisture away from you and they provide a solid base layer against the elements on your skin. So check out Sun hoodies. This is the Outdoor Research Echo Sun hoodie, my absolute favorite. I have 6 of these. I love them and adore them. I'm telling you, once you go to them, it'll change your life, especially if you're an outdoorsman, a hiker, a hunter, a fisherman, or a golfer. It's amazing. And my last one, before we get to the last part, is you should own a trauma kit. I do not mean a boo-boo kit with all kinds of cool stuff like Band-Aids in it. That's also important, but you need a real trauma kit, especially if you're a good red-blooded American patriot, because sometimes things happen. For example, I needed one of these this week. Sometimes things happen and you have no control over it, and it had nothing to do with guns. So something as small as this, buy your stuff from a reputable company. This is from Dark Angel Medical, who I highly recommend, because while you will spend $150 to $200 to get into something like this, if I use this trying to save a life, they will replace my stuff for free, which forever, which is really nice. So in this guy, this straps around my ankle. I have Hyphen compact chest seals, a 4-inch pressure bandage from North American Rescue. I have quick clot gauze. I have compressed gauze, a pair of gloves, and a soft T tourniquet from Tactus Med Solutions, solving major trauma issues where massive blood loss, arterial bleeding, or a sucking chest wound could be the cause of a very, very, very quick demise. Having the bare necessities on you or in your pack can help you ensure you don't die. Because if you like playing around with things like guns and knives, it's inevitable that accidents happen. All you have to do is look into the news. It happens every single day. Having some kind of a measure that can help you protect yourself if something does go wrong is a lifesaver, quite literally. So look into that. Like I said, you can check out. One of my favorite ones is Dark Angel Medical. My second favorite are right there with them would have to be Live the Creed. Both excellent companies, or you can buy direct from manufacturers, TacMed Solutions or North American Rescue. Get on it, guys. There's no excuse not to have a decent trauma kit. And last but not least, 2 things you should absolutely own as an adult are a solid, bam, that was loud, semi-automatic rifle. I do not mean a Mini 14, although that could work, and I definitely don't mean your granddaddy's bolt gun. I mean a solid semi-automatic magazine-fed repeating rifle. You do not have to spend a fortune. This is a Palmetto State Armory 16-inch mid-length gas system, plain Jane AR. I have a Magpul furniture on here. I took the light off. I need to put it back on. A Magpul vertical foregrip, a Vortex Crossfire 2. I have an Aero Precision breech charging handle because having an ambi charging handle is important for me. Standard Toolcraft bolt, K&S anti-walk pins. I have a Palmetto State Armory 2-stage nickel boron trigger, which actually is pretty decent. Standard Magpul stock, MOE stock, Magpul MOE grip. This entire rifle build minus the optic is about $410 to put you into a semi-automatic fighting styled rifle. Who's to say you couldn't use this? If you don't own one, this is a great way to get in, test the waters, and start learning before you start spending big bucks. It'll also teach you things you like and don't like, so that when you build out your first sexy super gun, you do it with all the parts you really want. And last up for me is a semi-automatic handgun, a semi-automatic magazine-fed striker fired or double action, single action, double stacked. I don't give a shit about your two World Wars. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean a good, solid quality fighting handgun. This is my Gen 4 Glock 19. As you can see, we are clear, right? Cool. This is my Gen 4 Glock 19, 9mm TLR 1HL. I have a Hive Monarch trigger because I can adjust the actual wall placement on this for pulling it. I have Trijicon night sights on here, a Hive Technologies extended mag release, which is amazing, large back strap, and I run mag plates on all of mine for these from Hive because they don't do anything. They just change the color of the base plate, maybe add a tiny bit of weight. So something like this is a fighting handgun that I could choose to get myself out of most encounters. If I was in a situation where I needed to open carry this and use this in that fighting capacity, I would not be undergunned. But I can also conceal this pretty easy. The magazines are super cheap, and I can solve a lot of problems. You should have a good, solid, semi-automatic handgun. If you want more information on picking a handgun, sorry for my chair, go ahead and check out one of my previous videos. I think it was 2 back. It was tips and truths about selecting a handgun. I feel like it's a great one. It'll answer a lot of those questions. If there's something I missed on that for any reason, or you have something I didn't cover, go ahead, send me an email. You can get out to me, UncleFreedom213@outlook.com. You can also find me on Instagram at UncleFreedom213. Please reach out with any questions, comments. If you have something you really want an answer to, hit me up on one of those 2 platforms and I will help you out. I made an email because I have a lot of people that do not have social media, which I do not disagree with, but I am here to help in any way that I can. Guys, go back and check out some of the other videos that we released recently. My Get Good in the Dark on, some things you need to keep in mind when we talk about low light and no light. I have videos coming up. Me and Officer Meaty filmed 3 videos, everything from sniper weapon systems. That'll be the next one that's out, to call out belts. Both of us are running the Battle Belt Blue Alpha Light, best belt. And then the call out plate carrier systems. Feel free to check those out when they come out. Go back and look at my medical stuff. I have a medical playlist that talks all about things you need and how to function through the March algorithm. But guys, more than anything, I appreciate your support. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to what's to come. Thank you guys again. So until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you later.